So how does speculation and conspiracy type of thinking without any rational data points, objective data points, how does that help us as preppers? And I've thought about this a lot because I'm not against, making hypotheses and creating formulations of thought to predict the future based on evidence. I'm really not even against a lot of so-called conspiracy theories when they're based on facts, because there are real conspiracies in the world, But the problem is when you have no rational basis and it's all conjecture and it's purely speculation, it helps no one and it actually fosters fear. Because now you're introducing thoughts and topics that most likely don't even exist. They're just created out of your mind. And while I promote creativity, this is one type of creativity that's destructive. So I don't promote this type. You see this a lot on a lot of channels, especially like the more extreme prepping and survival channels. They want you to do things because they create a scenario. Most time it's 100% manufactured. And through that speculation, they want you to now prepare for this event. So they're not the only ones doing it. Or it just reinforces their self-made beliefs. Over time, though, this gets really old. And I can tell you, I've been around the block enough to know that there's a lot of crap on the internet. In fact, I think the bulk of it, unfortunately, is just worthless. And so I just wanted to put this out there that it doesn't help us, especially those channels. And there's actually quite a few channels that watch my channel that actually make content. And I just would like to pass this on. Please reduce the rhetoric. Reduce all the speculation that goes nowhere, that helps no one. It only fosters these circular, logical types of conversations that don't go anywhere, and they're really non-logical in a lot of ways. Just for example, the big thing right now in the last week is what's Obama up to right now? How is he going to get in for the third term? I mean, seriously? There is like almost no chance of that happening in real life. That he's going to suspend the inauguration and that he's going to declare some kind of an emergency executive action. Come on. The likelihood of that really happening is so thin. And the ability for him to do it even legally is really questionable. The powers of the president is not unlimited, people. It's so amazing how people forget that there's a thing called the Congress. And Congress, has the bulk of the power for a reason, because there's a lot more people that the power is spread over. We do not have a dictator, even though Obama acts like a dictator and has been in some parts, in some ways. But he's not supposed to be a dictator. The United States is a democratic republic, okay? And for everyone that's putting down capitalism, what we witness now mostly is not capitalism that's a problem. It's called crony capitalism, and that's a very different thing. But people who are uneducated, they can't differentiate. Now, just a step to the side real quick, I'm going to put in the description box below a link to my other channel, because there's been so many new, types of preppers that have joined the channel. And once again, I want to say welcome. I get a lot of new people, and I just want to say thank you for supporting the channel. Thanks for watching. And if you would like additional information that's very specific in some other ways that I don't do on this channel, check out my other channel. Once again, the link is down below in the description box. It's called The Everyday Prepper. And The Everyday Prepper is going to start featuring this coming up Saturday, because I have a new video that pretty much comes out either Friday night or Saturday morning, or sometime during the Saturday, I should say. But it's going to start featuring a new series that talks about in-home systems. and or basically home systems, or types of systems that you found on a homestead, and or just an overall view of what, or I should call it probably an overview would be the best word for that, of what you would probably want to start putting together in some manner. And this is not going to be all just gear heavy. It's going to be some philosophy mixed in there and some real world applications from my own experience. And so we'll just break down each category and have one category for the most part each week on Saturday on my other channel. So just a heads up on that if you're interested. But back to speculation. I think that the reason that preppers want to speculate, or they're open to it, and or they go to more extreme type of conspiracy thinking rhetoric that's based on lack of facts or factual types of foundation, is because these individuals are very open-minded in a good way, and they also have a higher level of awareness, but they misplace that ability. They misplace it because they don't know what to do with that awareness. And so they default into things that are more comfortable for them. And that's things that they can actually just make up on their own. Instead of actually just looking at reality and going, okay, wow, it really is that way. They have to make their own version. And that gives them control. And what's so sad, though, is that you're misplacing that gift. You don't need to create your own reality. Reality is right in front of us, man. So you might want to just look at things as they are and actually work from there. That would give you a lot higher chance of actually overcoming whatever this is that concerns you. So there's a lot of channels, though, especially some newer, prepping channels that are really into fear baiting. And they do the whole clickbait thing too. They have all these extreme examples of things that could happen, and that's something that you also want to see in their titles and in their descriptions about this may happen, or this is possible, or this is this right around the corner, possibly this and that, and it just goes on and on. There's all this maybe this and maybe that, and I've gotten to the point that I'm not into maybes. I'm looking at things that actually have happened and that will happen, and they're happening now. Because I live in the freaking real world. And yes, there are really bad conspiracies that are actual factual, that are ongoing and have happened. And I'm not so blind to see that. Okay? Yes, there is a new world order that's forming. This is just completely obvious. You don't have to have any brain cells. You can see that we're working toward a cashless society. You don't really need to have a degree to know that. Okay? You can see that there's all kind of poisons and shit in our food, in our water, and our medicine isn't really medicine. Okay? You can see this. We don't have to go to school to know these things. In fact, when you go to school, and I would know because I went to school quite far, I should say. I get a little emotional, so this crap really makes me, it throws me off course when I'm trying to speak, fluidly at least, which I'm not a very good speaker. Thank you for staying this long on the video. So basically, I've been through this stupid effing system, okay, on a university level, state university levels, multiple state university levels, multiple degrees, okay. I went and got a terminal degree, the furthest I could go in that type of field of study, okay? And let me tell you, a lot of it is completely baseless. I mean, it's horse shit, okay? Excuse my language of the video. This is just reality. A lot of this stuff that we're fed is bullcrap. And so let's quit feeding the monster. Let's open our eyes. You may not have to go to get a degree to do what you want. A lot of times you have to have that stupid piece of paper to get through the door. And that's what I had to do what I wanted to do. And do I regret that? Maybe not, but it's just, man, there's a lot of time and effort that I don't know. I could have done a lot more things with it. Probably a lot more beneficial things for people that I know and myself. I mean, it just was a lot of waste of time to some degree. But it has helped me form the thoughts that I have. And so maybe I should just be very thankful. But it is very frustrating. When you go through your life, there's all kinds of peaks and valleys. There's peaks and valleys everywhere. We know this. This is called part of the human condition. We are going through this in real time, and it's just full of surprises. And we have all kinds of just crazy experiences that we could have just never predicted. And so instead of trying to waste all of our time in speculation and all these conspiracy theories that are baseless, try to live your freaking life, man. Try to live your life and be practical, okay? Be as practical as you can, because that is what's going to help you the most, not extreme types of actions. I mean, there's people who actually prep for the end of the world. Well, if it's the end of the world, then how is it going to help you regardless of whatever you have? If we get hit by a large enough comet or asteroid and it destroys the Earth, it doesn't really freaking matter what you have prepped. Even if you had a bunker that was miles and miles down, you may not still be safe. It could be the complete destruction of the Earth. Of course, that's so extreme. Why even talk about it? That's why I don't. But there's so many channels that do that. Oh, they have to prepare. It's the end. And then there's so many people, not to be disrespectful, they're always trying to use the Bible or other holy text to try to prove that just in a few hours or in a few weeks or in a few years, it's going to be the end. I mean, how many freaking, seriously, decades, centuries that we've been hearing this. The end, the end, the end. Eventually, one day, it probably will be the end. But instead of always trying to put all this energy and trying to figure out this arbitrary number that no one really knows and can never figure out, what about trying to isolate real problems in the now that are ongoing? This is just amazing how people misuse their freaking life, their life energy. It is just like, sheesh, of all the things to do, and you got to do this. Just sit there and worry about needless things that you have no control over. It's just amazing. Just amazing. And the more I talk about this, the more it just becomes apparent that we get so distracted from reality because maybe we don't want to be part of it, because it is a little scary, the things that can happen. But why freak yourself out and think about even things that are even more extreme? I mean, there are people who I know that are odor preppers that went their whole life without any problems, no crisis, but they've been prepared for almost everything that's logical to prepare for. Was it wrong for them to do that, to be prepared? No. It gave them great peace of mind. But there is always that possibility that you will never use the things that you prepare. But you know what? It's just like insurance. It's probably the best insurance you can have because you have immediate access to it. And so don't put down the people who are trying, because this is all that we can do. As humans, our effort is all we have. We can't magically make things appear like you would say that, like Oprah promotes the book that I've talked about maybe just once or so. This particular book, it's called The Secret. And I don't even know how to start on that, but my thoughts if you watch the channel. But you don't just manifest things out of thin air just because you think about them. I mean, it's just an amazing thing how people can get brainwashed into thinking about life. I mean, this particular type of reality that we live in right now, I mean, it's a 3D dimension to some degree that we can actually experience. I mean, there's more dimensions that we just don't have access to, in a perceptual way, at least mostly consciously. But it's probably there. I mean, at least quantum physics says that there's all kinds of other dimensions. So just this very limited landscape of perception is all that we have to work with. Okay? And so let's just use what we have instead of creating more problems, because it seems like a lot of people don't even want to actually use their capabilities. They just want to go on a tangent. And maybe I'm doing a tangent now, so maybe I got to take my own advice. And so I'm going to sign off. Don't forget to check my other channel out, The Everyday Prepper, in the link below. I enjoy all of your comments. Thank you so much for your support. I'll catch you real soon.